It's impossible. So there's no point for you to feel lower than others. Only you could compare yourself with your last year, with the things that you could be doing. And we're always dealing, exchanging. I go after knowledge and this and that. Well, of course, then I don't have money. Now I try to cry, God, I don't have money, but I went after this and that. But God says, it's your own choice. You went after knowledge because you preferred this, and I preferred that for you because you're set to be that. Therefore, what I know is billion times more than Mr. Bill Gates' money. I would not want to exchange one word of my understanding with his entire wealth. With all due respect to him and to others alike, he is good for what he does. I'm just not going to be good if I do what he does. And he's not going to be good for doing what I do. Therefore, it's the question of apple and pear. Whatever he is good in his own line. Whatever I am is good for my own line. There's no point of jealousy. But that's what Baha'ullah says. Another one. O brethren, be forbearing one with another, and set not your affections on things below. Pride not yourself in your glory, and be not ashamed of abasement. By my beauty I have created all things from dust, and to dust will I return them again. So, life has got ups and downs, you know. I make certain mistakes, I go down, I go low. 3-4 times in my life I went down materially, came back. We have to sort of estimate ourselves. Some people are coming with a small pocket. Even if I put extra on it, it'll just overflow anyways. But this forbearing with one with another, that's the greatest. That's the greatest quality if we can learn. The moment you react to something you don't like, it is throwing 2x4 into the fire. It just becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. The second choice is not to say that, he's not my type and forget him, I'm just leaving him. Then you will be all alone, all the time. Just try to bear it. Put a different gear. Try to smile, try to go on. When he feels good, then he comes back and thanks you for what you have done. Forbearing definitely is investing in your human being, in your friend. Invest on it. Throw it. Let go, give in. And all of a sudden you take it all back. That's how I found it. Right, another one. O quintessence of passion, put away all covetousness and seek contentment. For the covetous have ever been deprived, and the contented had never been loved and praised. So this greed, is a huge problem again. Overestimations. I was like those old broken records. We used to play them. Sometimes they get stuck and they keep repeating one words. Oh, on and on and on. Many people are like that. It seems they just get stuck in one point that they want that and that and that and that and they have no idea what are they getting into. They say even the honey, which is the best thing, if you overdo it, it'll kill you. Same as money, same as power, same as everything else. The least that happens to you when you're greedy on one thing, because you spend time and to be greedy because you want more money, then you have lost time to do other things. As like in your computer, you just have learned one button to just do one functions. What about the other functions? You see, we become loser when we're greedy on one thing, you know. All right, go to the next one. O oppressor of earth, withdraw your hand from tyranny, for I have pledged myself not to forgive any man's injustice. This is my covenant, which I have irrevocably decreed in the preserved tablet and sealed with my seal. Oh God, tyranny. Haven't we seen it in the 20th century? Every one of these dictators, or any one of them, of this people of tyranny, transgression, brutality, they all get it, isn't it? But then, when you have the power, exactly that is the time that you may become exercising in the power. And when you exercise, you know, the tyranny starts. I've seen many policemen in Canada, they have uniform. They're great guys. And I've seen some of them, they are absolutely abusing their power. Right here in this country. And I've seen wealthy people. Same thing. This abuse of power, when you abuse it, when you overdoing it, trying to control another person, which doesn't happen in Canada so often. But by God, I have seen it, so much of it. And many of these bastards, they don't even know they're committing tyranny. I was in one of these Arabic countries. I saw millions of these poor Indians and Pakistanis and Afghanis. They're building a whole country for the price of nothing. They don't even have a place to live in. Say blood, you know, diamond. These are blood buildings, you know. And they essentially, by their money, they cannot just buy bread and water. That's all that they could buy. It was too expensive for them. And they could not come in the main street. Not even once. These poor workers. And the man is so happy because he says, hey, I changed the surface of the earth and I made it to look like a great place. All these big buildings, you know, like the Gotham City. And he thinks this is progress. And in his countries, the women have no right. They can't even call 911. If actually something happens to them, they can't call. Somebody else has to call for them. If you go talk to the woman, you might get by the religious police stopped. What kind of a tyranny is this that we are committing towards the women in the earth, in the Islamic country? There's 1 billion Muslim. I know 300,000 of these people, of this 1 billion, 500 million of them, assuming women, only maybe 10% of them are okay. 20% is not so bad, but 80% of them are suffering, one way or other. But in those fundamentalist countries, they suffer a lot. And nobody knows, even if we talk about it in the West, you know, nobody. Because they have, you know, commercial relationship with them, they don't talk about it. But the greatest oppression right now that's happening in the planet is towards the women in the Islamic country. Yes. And God says, I am not forgiving you. And I know what's going to happen to them too. I'll talk about it not right now. These are the things I know no one knows. When it comes to the end of this program, I'm going to talk about what's going to happen to them. And I'm going to give you some predictions on that. You watch it. It's going to happen, unfortunately. Unless they change. Let's go on. Oh, emigrant. Let's talk about people who are like immigrants. O emigrant, the tongue I have designed for the mention of me, defile it not with detraction. The fire of self overcomes you. Remember your own fault and not the fault of my creatures. Inasmuch as every one of you knoweth his own self better than he knoweth others. Finding fault even in yourself, Baha'ullah says, is a fire is overcoming you. Don't do it, and I spoke about that before. The next one, O children of Adam, holy words and pure and goodly deeds ascend unto the heaven of celestial glory. Strive that your deeds may be cleansed from the dust of self and hypocrisy. Whew. This hypocrisy is the worst thing. In some other tablet, Baha'u'llah says, be infidel. Infidel, this is. Don't be hypocrite. He says, get on, go to the bar where they drink. But do not go, he says, do not resign. Do not reside in the path of double standard, double face. Do not be a double face, he says. Do not be a trigger. It is so bad, this hypocrisy. Lying about things and in your heart, and you're smiling in the face. Right now, Baha'i faith is dying under the hypocrisy of his believers. And God has sent his program on the earth to see how this province, earth, does. And he found that those who trusted them with his books, with his words, are not doing so well. Unless they change. I hope they change soon. Well, let's go on. O son of my handmaiden, guidance had ever been given by words, and now it is given by deed. Everyone must show forth deeds that are pure and holy, for words are property of all alike, whereas such deeds as these belong only to our loved ones. Strive then with a heart and soul to distinguish yourself by your deed. But remember, sometimes talking is also a deed. When you're teaching the faith, you are engaged into the deed of teaching.